Thanks for joining me. I wanted to make a little video to share the projects that I'll be teaching at the Bead Button Show in June. And Bead Button says that they'll put links to our videos up on their website so that students can see us talk about our actual pieces. So on Friday, June 7th, I'll be teaching my first class of 5. It's called Intertwined Necklace, and this is the one that's featured in the catalog, but it looks lovely in other colors as well. So I have rendered other renditions in other colors. And for your $20 kit, I'll bring a slew of measured out beads in a myriad of colors, so you can choose your own colorway for your necklace. So you'll choose 2 colors, and then we'll trim it in the Magatama beads. And you'll notice that almost all of my pieces are easy on, easy off with magnetic closures. Sometimes the magnet is concealed within beadwork, and sometimes it's just allowed to be an element. So later that day, from 6 to 9 on Friday, June 7th, I'm teaching for Cleopatra, Serpent of the Nile, and it's that snaky necklace that I taught last year. It was very popular. It's done around an armature, a wire armature, and so it gives it sort of a springiness. And you can shape it to fit comfortably around your neck, and then coil up the tail so that it looks a little bit more realistic. It has a forked tongue, just like a good serpent should, and it's a conversation piece. So this one is done in a frosty bead and some gold. This one I made in greens, so even in greens it works well for a serpent. I think that could be a little bit snugger. And then I sometimes just bend the head up a little bit like that. And again, it has its little forked tongue. So that's my Friday. Then the next day, Saturday, June 8th, I teach an all-day class from 9 to 4 for the love of pearls. And I first rendered it in the bead that I think I've seen described as khaki. It's a frosted bead that I think of as raku kind of. It's a beautiful neutral sort of bead that works as a wonderful foil to pearls. So again, it's magnetic. I'll put this one on. So there are wonderful different techniques that are involved in making this necklace, so it's kind of worth the price of admission just to do a couple of the components, let alone all of them. So this will be a polygon stitch that we do here with seed pearls, and that alone would make a beautiful chain just on its own, but we do a few inches of this, and then we break into this element here that has some triangle beads and risos and drops. Then we have strands of pearls that go back and forth between that element and 5 more of those little bubbles. And then we repeat the strung beads or strung pearls, and we produce a second element like we started with, and finish up with that delicate chain that has the seed pearls in it. So it's a lovely piece, but it's infused with several techniques, which I think you'll enjoy. So that's it rendered in that khaki bead, the one I think of that's raku. This is it in gold, and then I'm going to kit it in silver as well. So you have a choice of the beautiful pearls with gold, silver, or that frosty raku bead. So that's Saturday from 9 to 4, and the number is B191685 for the love of pearls. So you'll have a choice of colors there. Then Saturday night, I'm teaching a stitch that's an original. It's based on polygon stitch, but polygon stitch is a tubular stitch. It was brought to us from Valerie Hector back in an article in Ornament magazine. I think that was in 1993. Anyway, it's a tubular stitch from South Africa, and I've chosen to use a similar thread path, but to create the beadwork as a flat piece. So when you work the rows back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, the beads corrugate. So instead of being lined up like this, they corrugate and one jumps in front of the other, so that as you go, it ends up with a lovely texture on top as the beadwork corrugates, and it creates a reversible piece. So the size 8 bead here is the one that's obvious on both sides, but the size 11s vary, and so the black and the red on this side are not visible on this side that's 2 shades of green. So it completely changes the nature of the bracelet. This one I finished with a tubular magnetic clasp, and this one is done in that khaki sort of bead that I love with pearls. I love that combination. And then on the other side there's some stripy beads. No, not stripy beads, some brindle beads and the khaki, so it's reversible. But I closed this one with 2 magnets that are hidden inside, let's see, hidden inside a little beaded flower that's done using herringbone stitch. So it makes a lovely closure, and it's not apt to pick up a fork and drag it across your lap if you're in a Chinese restaurant. Sometimes the magnets sort of grab whatever's metal around, but because they're covered, it's a little bit safer. And with magnetic closures, I like to use a safety chain. This is another example of the one that's done with the magnetic bar closure. The 2 sides are not that different from each other. This side is the stripy tiny 11s, and this is sort of a pink shiny 11, but they're not terribly different from each other. This one is mostly pearl colored on one side, and then it has that sort of maroon stripy bead stripe. This one is a repeat of the colors in some of the other pieces, but this one has a closure that's pearls and loops, which theoretically is lovely, but in actuality I'm not comfortable wearing anything that's not more secure than this. So I would maybe wear this out one evening, but running through the airport with luggage and things hanging off my arm, this isn't going to be the kind of closure I would love. But you'll have options in the class to do whichever you choose. And then this is again the magnetic bar closure with reversible corrugated sides. So that's going to be on Saturday night, June 8th from 6 to 9. And I'm going to have several color choices so you can do whatever's your taste. And I'll have a choice of closures. I'll bring some of those tiny pearls, button pearls. I'll have the magnetic tube closures, and I'll also have the regular little magnets, and I'll show you how to hide them in that beadwork. And then on Sunday from 9 to noon is Wear Me a Few Ways. So we make 2 chains, and then we use them in various ways to wear the piece. So this one is rendered in silver. So for the price of your kit, which I think is like $20, $25, I'm not going to offer gold or silver beads, but I'll have a vast array of choices for you. And I have quite a collection of daggers, so I'll bring lots of different daggers for you to choose from. So each person will have something that's more to their personal taste. So here's one rendition of the necklace. Another way to wear it would be to put one of the strands, to wind it around the second strand. Oh, and then this one, I guess I have 3 strands. So then I connect them with this 3rd strand. So let me put this on for you. I got tongue-tied and twisted up last year when I tried to demonstrate this. So let's see. Okay, magnet, do your thing. Please. Anyway, that's it in a second style. Then a 3rd way to wear it is we make a tiny strand like this, and then cover the magnets with little drop beads, and then secure this more as a choker using that short strand. And it can also be worn so that you allow the coil to collapse on itself. Let's see if I can do this. So you just allow the coil to squish itself down into this element and pass the necklace through it. And then you can wear this as like a little focal element on the chain. So those are a few of the ways to wear me a few ways. So I'll bring ample choices of beads for this project as well, so that you can make it to your own taste. And notice these wonderful daggers. They're little etched metallic daggers as a nice contrast to the black daggers. So you'll have a choice of 2 daggers. This, believe it or not, is 2 different daggers as well. One is light and one is a little bit darker and clear. And then this was a sort of a copper and black ones. So you'll have choices of daggers. So again, everyone will leave with a piece that's more individual than if we rendered all identical pieces. So I look forward to seeing you at the Bead Button Show. I'll be there for Meet the Teachers on Tuesday night. Tuesday night, right? Wednesday night. Tuesday night, I think, is Midnight Madness. But I'll be there, Meet the Teachers on Wednesday night, and then Thursdays are preview shopping, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I'll be in class. So we'll have a good time. I look forward to seeing you, and if I don't see you there, maybe I'll see you at your local bead store. Thank you. Bye.